Wow, look at that. In the pregame, letting everybody know, hey, we might be here a little bit early, just in case. If not, hey, they play clutch games all the time, the Philadelphia 76ers do. But even with all of that and us making sure that we let you know that sometimes you let up a little bit with a team like that without their regulars and you're coming home after a long trip, maybe it may not be as easy as you expect it to be. Even I didn't expect it to play out the way that it did. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers postgame show live from the Xfinity studio, where we are stunned at the recent development and the final score 125-124. Nuggets win an overtime thriller in South Philadelphia, snapping the Sixers' 3-game winning streak. We are presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And that's always the case with your basketball team. Along with Rich, I'm Devon Bree, the president of basketball operations. All of you ticked off Sixer fans in the chat, we see you. We'll get to you as we go along. A lot of angry people in there, Rich, as we get this one started. But we'll check in with the unsung hero a little bit later. We'll get to the temperature check as well for your basketball team. And first, though, we do have to begin the show with the main thing as we have Rich back in the fold, laying it out for us, the main thing of tonight's loss to the undermanned Nuggets.
Devon, I want to give Denver credit. They were unbelievable. I thought some of the shooting was insane. Peyton Watson, Jalen Pickett, give those guys all the credit in the world.
2 game balls.
From the Sixers standpoint, though, I don't care. You cannot lose that game. You can't lose that game. And they lost that game. Really reprehensible loss. I know it's 1 of 82. People tell, the fans, some people say, hey, calm down. Don't overreact to one game. You cannot lose that game. That is embarrassing stuff. And it happened for a lot of reasons. I thought the Sixers, let's talk about the main 2 reasons. For 48 minutes, the Sixers defense was reprehensible. And then for 5 minutes at the end of the game, the Sixers offense was atrocious. And that's why they lost. You have to accept the gifts. We talked about the game before tonight, Devon, and said, you got to respect the game. Professional effort. Did not get a professional effort tonight. And I'm going to call out somebody right now. Joel Embiid, first 3 minutes of the game, has 2 possessions where he gets the ball knocked out of his hands and just volleyballs it to somebody and knocks it out of bounds. If you start a game like that, hey, we're screwing around. We're having some fun.
We're not taking you
seriously. That's what happens. And Denver got some confidence, and they played unbelievable basketball. And that's really disappointing for a Sixers team that just had a 3-game road trip where they just played 2 of their best games of the year, are given a gift of a 2-game homestand here, playing Washington next. Denver sits all of their guys, and they were a disaster tonight. They could not stay in front of Jalen Pickett. They could not stay in front of Peyton Watson in particular. Really, really bad loss. And we'll talk about all the reasons. I thought their offense in overtime, look, they were gassed, was atrocious. It was so bad. It was so awful. Embiid was terrible in overtime. Maxey was horrible in overtime as well. Also screwed up the final possession as well. Gets Jalen Pickett on him one-on-one. For all the consternation about Nick Nurse at the end of the game, and I agree with a lot of it, that final possession of regulation.
It was your basketball.
The coach wants the Sixers to take the last shot. They're going to be a little bit cautious with it. You get Jalen Pickett, who's probably their worst defender, isolated one-on-one. Tyrese Maxey just lost the basketball. Can't happen. And I got to say, Tyrese Maxey's been terrific all year, but end-of-quarter situations have been really rough for him all season, and that's frustrating. I'm venting. Those are 2 guys that did good things during the game as well, but just a horrible loss.
Frustrating one, too. Just horrible, frustrating, all the different ways you want to explain this one out. As we see Sam saying, PSU legend. Hey, we mentioned it in the beginning of the game that, hey, for people who remember him, Jay Pickett, and of course Jalen Pickett, but Jay Pickett, man, just the way that he plays the game. But
you got to respect the game,
man.
You
have to respect the game. You do. These guys came out there and they knew they were going to get an opportunity to play 25 to 30 minutes as starters. other guys were going to get their chances as well against this team. But this is just, as we said, get a professional win. Rich just talked about it. Professional game you have to go out there and play. Get the professional win. Sure, we joked around in the pregame and said, hey, maybe if we're ready to come back into this one a little bit early, it's a 15-point spread at Bet365. If we're early, remember, we check in with you oftentimes just a tad bit early to start the post-game show. But look, we knew that team was going to go out there and play tough. As we said, they are a winning organization. They are a championship caliber organization because they won a couple of years ago. They've been in the mix the last few years. They have great leadership, and their coach is really good. He had them prepared on the second night, everybody, of a back-to-back where they played a close game to another team that they should have beaten in the Brooklyn Nets. They lose that one, sit their starters because they have a seventh and final game on their season-long road trip against the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. They sat their guys against your 4 stars that we talk about for the last couple of games and said, you know what? Just go out there and play, do what we practice, do what we preach, and you go out there and give yourselves an opportunity. And as the Sixers did what they did in the first quarter, as Rich talked about, starting with Embiid, just batting the basketball as it was kind of loose, you allow a basketball team to hang in there. And everybody used the same words of, hey, you play with your food too long, breathe, and said it as the game was going on. They're playing with their food. It's happening, and it happened. And you gave them enough confidence to stay in this basketball game, believing that they belonged on the floor with you, that they can steal this win. And that's exactly what they did, from Watson to Pickett to Hunter to Najee hitting threes, step-back threes, and Bruce Brown doing old man Bruce Brown stuff as the leader out there on the floor to, again, give themselves that belief that they belonged out there with that basketball team. And this is a ridiculous loss. And just
ridiculous.
I am the one that will overreact a little bit more than Rich does when I say you can't lose that game. And Rich will be like, you know what? It happens. It's the NBA. But basketball, they are pros too. They may not be on the caliber of you. They may not be on the level of you, but they are basketball players getting an opportunity to shine in a moment where their starters are down. And the other thing that they received, not just from the coaching staff, they were encouraged by their rotational teammates, their starters, their all-stars, their champions in Jokic and Gordon, Hardaway. You see him, just praising all of their guys when they do good things out there on the floor. Ultimate belief is confidence, and the Sixers gave that undermanned, shorthand, as Derek called them, the hospital nuggets, confidence, and they beat you. And you deserve that loss, Sixers, on this night. I understand you're tired. I understand you just came off a long road trip, but you just win the game by 1. We're talking about it shouldn't have been that close, but you got a professional win to close it out. You regroup on your off day, and you come back and you smack the Washington Wizards on Wednesday at home before you go back on the road for 3 more. So that's where this one was. A lot of disappointing individual performances where they could not figure out the zone, which was unbelievable against this team. Yes, the Nuggets played a good zone defense against the Sixers, but they could not figure it out. They got rattled, and we saw too much of that tonight from the 76ers, and that's exactly why they lost to this Nuggets team.
So I view it in 2 buckets, right, with this game, because they did get the game to overtime, and we're going to talk about that in a second. For 48 minutes, to me, this is a defensive loss. And Nick Nurse, I'm reading some of the tweets, the blue skies, whatever you call them, from the reporters, and Nick Nurse called it a shooting percentage loss. He's not right, because I'm gonna light him up in a second. But he is right in terms of they let the Nuggets get hot offensively early on. I mean, Devon, I think at the end of regulation, the Nuggets, we should look at this in the box score, like 56-something% from the field, 49% from 3.
After 4?
Some of that was excellent Nugget shooting. Like, I'm going to be honest. Some of this is a little bit of like BS shooting, because when Zeke Najee goes 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, that's a guy you leave wide open all the time. And the last 2 were ridiculously difficult shots, and Zeke Najee is like triple pumping and scoring on reverse layups. Those are the shots that I think you got to shake their hand on and just be like, hey, that's pretty good. Jalen Pickett, when he's making difficult step-back threes and Joel Embiid's getting a pretty good contest on those, I'm going to shake their hand on that one. Like that's, look, they're NBA players. They can make those shots. Most times, not going to make those shots. I'm looking at their percentages. They usually play with Nikola Jokic too. So like usually their shots are easy. Yeah, those shots were amazing. So I think that's some of it. But there were too many breakdowns on the defensive side of the ball, man. A couple of times, I know the Sixers play a help scheme. They overhelped way too much. And you had Jalen Pickett. Tyrese Maxey left him wide open on the weak side a couple of times. Practice level threes, that can't happen. Paul George lost Peyton Watson on the weak side. Those are the type of things we saw from the beginning of the game where they just, the pressure on the point of attack defense, the ball pressure was non-existent, and they let the Nuggets get comfortable.
Yep.
And then you know what happens when you let the team get comfortable? They start to believe in themselves, and then, oh baby, it's the fourth quarter and it's another close game, and it's, hey, maybe we win. You know, we're going to start playing hard, and we're going to start having VJ Edgecombe make some crazy plays down the stretch and make some shots. Maybe we win. But if they come out with a professional effort on the defensive end, especially early on, that game does not get to overtime. And that's really bad. Like they should be ashamed of themselves that they let the Nuggets get that hot. Like that's bad. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that in overtime, you do get the game to overtime, and you think, okay, this should be advantage Sixers. Denver's been on fire the entire game. They're playing basically five guys. It should be advantage Sixers. Sixers have more talent. And the Sixers, Devon, not only do they score just 4 points in overtime, not only do they score 4 points, Denver only scores 3, and the only reason you lose is because with 30 seconds left in the game, we see a VJ Edgecombe ISO with no play, no plan, or anything whatsoever. He takes a wildly difficult shot, like just throws it over his head.
Terrible shot.
Left hand. The Sixers don't get the rebound. They might have been able to get the offensive rebound, 50-50 ball, but it was such a bad shot, it ended up in Denver's arms. And it's so bad.
And you have the lead, by the way.
So your offense not only scores 4 points, but you lose the game because your offense is so bad, you give Denver 2 points with their terrible floor balance. Bruce Brown goes down the court, gets the bucket. Really, I mean, shameful stuff. They played a lot through Joel Embiid in overtime, and I think we can quibble with that move. Joel Embiid was getting doubled on every possession. There was one nice possession where he got doubled. Paul George, they tried to put him in the short corner. Joel found him. VJ got a big dunk on one of those plays. But for the most part...
And they tried to run it again on the consecutive play.
And it got
Denver
gummed up.
Snuffed that out.
It got gummed up.
Yep.
And I got to say, that's not all on Nick Nurse.
No.
I thought Joel Embiid was completely gassed, and as the game went on, he handled double teams. He had a couple nice passes in the first quarter. Thought he handled them pretty poorly, especially down the stretch. He needs to own that. But also, Nick Nurse, like, come on, like, go to something else. Like, you have matchup advantages elsewhere. Go to something that gets a little bit more ball movement involved. I mean, he played Adem Bona for a lot of the game. So Nick Nurse, that overtime, you got to wear those 4 points, man. Like that's not enough. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey deserve plenty of blame. Tyrese Maxey did get a wide open look on the wing on one of those. You know, I am not usually I'm going to blame Nick Nurse guy. I think everybody in the comments, for the most part, who's a regular knows that I'm not usually all over him. He needs to wear that. Like, come on, you got to execute down the stretch against the Denver team that's gassed, and the Sixers did not do that. Too much ISO ball, not enough imagination. Bad.
All right, so to your point of the stats through the 4 quarters, the first 48, 55.4% for the Nuggets on 41 for 74 shots. The Sixers were a plus 14 in field goal attempts. They were 44 for 88 for 50%, even right there at the three-point line with both teams making 17 through 3 quarters, and at the free throw line, advantage plus 6 for the Denver Nuggets, 21 for 28, where the Sixers were 15 for 19. And we had talked about it. Maxey had missed 2 free throws, 1 technical and 1 on the second on the back end of 2. And we were like, Tyrese Maxey missing free throws tonight? Those 2 points huge there down the stretch there for the Sixers. In overtime, when VJ Edgecombe took that tough shot, all right, here was my thing too with it. Tyrese Maxey was tired. Now, I know he played 43 minutes, 44 minutes tonight. I know he was tired.
He did. He played the whole third quarter.
Yeah. So
and then they play everybody else in the fourth quarter for 4 minutes, and it's Jared McCain on the court, and it's a Paul George on the court, and it's a disaster.
Right.
It's like a 12-0 run for Denver.
Right.
Yeah.
So he plays all these minutes, and he's gassed. He's tired. I get it. 46 total as I'm looking at the box score here now. He played a lot of minutes. But on that play that you're talking about, he gave it back to VJ Edgecombe for that one-on-one opportunity, that isolation play. I don't know if it was just specifically because of what he saw with the matchup or because he was tired and he didn't have it, so he gave it to VJ Edgecombe to see if he can get something better. And I just thought that, look, it's not like he quit. He tried to give it to somebody else he thought was better, but he was gassed. He was gassed. And there's one thing that we've talked about is the amount of minutes that he plays and the fact that he also does not get really tired. And I thought it showed there in the overtime where he was in overtime in general. As I look at the box score, Tyrese Maxey was 0 for 3 in overtime. 0 for 1 on that 3 that Rich just talked about where he got a fantastic look. He did not lock it down. Tired legs. Did not knock it down. Tired legs. Is that the case? And he did not get that one to go. As a team, they shot 2 for 10 in overtime for the 4 points that Rich is talking about. 0 for 3 from 3, where the Nuggets, 3 less shot attempts. They were 2 for 7, made their only 3-pointer, and they get the win, as we know, 6-5 rebounding advantage in overtime for the Denver Nuggets. I thought that Maxey, in regulation, to your point, should have gotten by Jalen Pickett. At the very least, the score is tied 120-120. Jalen Pickett can't move his feet as well as keep up with the speed. He's going to foul you. You get to the free throw line, knock down 1, maybe 2, fatigued, maybe 1, maybe 2. Game pretty much over there because there was no time really left on the clock there if Tyrese Maxey decided to make that drive there and you win that game. We're talking about close win. Again, you let this team hang in there, but a good professional win to find a way to dig deep and steal this basketball game. They did not. Just some bad execution down the stretch for the Sixers. Got to call the play. Nick Nurse gave you the opportunity to do something, to figure out how you were going to go, and I thought he decided to attack too late. He was going side to side, not enough downhill. He was going side to side, couldn't get by his defender. Therefore, he takes that tough shot, fading out of bounds where that happened. Also, that third and final shot that Tyrese Maxey took where the Sixers did call timeout after Brown's layup gave them the lead, he's stumbling and falling, and you know he probably wanted to call, fading away from the basket as he's trying to float it. It was just another awful opportunity for that final shot attempt for the Sixers.
It's the one thing he's bad at. It's the one thing he's not good at is ISO against the set defense. We know this, that he is an amazing player. He's an amazing transition player. He's an amazing pick and roll player. He's unbelievable off screens. But an ISO against the set defense where he's going to his right and he has to dribble way around a guy to his right to take an off-balance floater, that's not a good shot. We've seen him try to take that shot at the end of games this season. It doesn't work. And Nick Nurse, again, I'm turning into the Joker a little bit because I'm usually a little more calm.
But it's one game
after these games.
It's one game of these 30-plus games. You're allowed.
But that loss is absolutely atrocious. So to finish up, because I know we got to get to a break here in a second, to finish up, first 48 minutes, that's defense, man. That's, I think the Sixers got good enough shots. The numbers will tell you that was like a 90th percentile offensive game for them through 4 quarters. They need to play defense, and that is the bigger disappointment to me because the game shouldn't have been a game in the fourth quarter. If you do bring it on defense, you don't have to worry about all this late game execution. But hey, if you're going to joke around for 4 quarters, you got to execute at the end of the game. Didn't do it. Really disappointing stuff.
Yeah, Sixers stunned by the G League. As I saw somebody say, the G League team of the Denver Nuggets. Sixers lose this one tonight. Final score 125-124. Just a despicable loss by this basketball team. And they have to own this one. They have to eat this one, sit on this one until they face the Washington Wizards on Wednesday at home, where they should have been going for a 5-game winning streak after defeating the Nuggets tonight and taking care of business on Wednesday. But this is basketball. This is the NBA. When you let a team hang around, that's what happens. And you get knocked down, you get clipped. And the Sixers got clipped by the shorthanded Denver Nuggets. When we come back, we'll get to the unsung hero of the night. We have to award them, so we have to give them out. The unsung hero on the other side. So much more. Sixers lose in overtime. Another thriller. This time, too, the G League Nuggets. All due respect to them. 125, 124. When we get back, we'll discuss it all. It's the postgame show. Rich, Devon, Bree, all of you, right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame. There is nothing more Philadelphia than Wawa. Absolutely. And it's so great to be partnered with Wawa right now here at PHLY. And we got to tell you, you get your day started pretty early, getting the kids ready, going to work, all those things. You need something on the go. You drop the kids off. You didn't pack your own breakfast after packing their lunch. Wawa is a great spot for you right now with the $5 big breakfast that you can take advantage of with the Sizzly or any size hot or iced coffee plus a hash brown at your nearest Wawa for $5. That's right, $5. We've all done it. I've done it. Bree has done it. She's a big-time coffee drinker as well. And we've all done that right there at Wawa. Your nearest Wawa is $5. Can't beat that at all. That's the fuel for you. One thing, 5 to 11 every morning right there at Wawa. So make sure you don't need to overthink your breakfast. Just grab and go. Get on with your day with the great $5 breakfast deal at Wawa. Wawa, gotta have a Wawa.
Guys, do you know what my friends Derek Bodner and Kyle Newbeck always ask me? What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, Derek and Kyle, there is the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And it lets you stream the game as well, even when the whole family's online. All of your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part, guys. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, that should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. So lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Pain tonight after the Sixers fall 125-124. We're going to call a little audible. And we're going to go right to the Ace Hardware temperature check tonight. And we'll get to the Togo Unsung Hero in the following segment. But we start off with the Ace Hardware temperature check. Ace Hardware, homeservices.com to get started on your next project. Let's start off with the player team, but we're going to player here, cooling off here tonight because as you talked about, I mean, we can go in a lot of different directions for this. So if you want to go with multiple, we can. But I was looking at Paul George's
Absolutely.
3 for 10,
Yes.
2 for 7, some bad shot attempts overall. He finished with 8 points tonight. And look, we've praised him a lot for what he has done. And maybe as we've talked about them, no minute restrictions, playing all these basketball games. And look, he had 16, 8, and 6 in the last game or whatever number that he had. He looked really good against the New York Knicks in their win. But maybe on a night like tonight, after that trip, you come back home, some of those minutes in the games played have caught up to him, and he did not have this one for him tonight. A stinker, if you will, with the 3 for 10 in 32 minutes and 17 seconds. Also, when we talk about a lot of players that he can stay in front of, even at his age of 35, staying in front of these younger players, defensively, where we talk about it a lot, he had some really good possessions where he got his hands in there and did some things. Also had a block and 2 steals, but for the most part, he could not, again, stay in front of some of these younger players. And when you do need some of the great veteran IQ in the clutch type of play moments for a guy that's been through a lot of situations, he was one that did not handle it well.
So he made that great block that, you know, we could have been talking about this if they execute on the final play with Maxey. He made the great block on Peyton Watson.
And I thought it was goaltending.
At the end. Yeah. So he did make that play, but he was...
Also had that great steal defensively when Watson was losing the basketball,
Played
made him
good
dive
defense.
on the floor. Exactly, yeah.
He was a disaster.
He was a disaster.
He was an absolute disaster. And we talk about, like, look, Paul George has been probably statistically the most impactful defender on the Sixers this year. And we've talked about, hey, for a guy that is making that much money, it doesn't feel great, like that he should be this 3-and-D type player, kind of your fourth option on offense. But unlike 12 before him, he doesn't need to have, 20 points to make a good impact on the game. That said, Paul George's defense is mostly off ball. That's where he sort of thrives. And he got the matchup to guard Peyton Watson tonight. And when I talked about how they were unable to defend these guys early in the game and then throughout the game, Peyton Watson blew by him like 4 times in the first couple of quarters. Just blew by him. And he had absolutely nothing for him. And it's like, I'm going to give half of the credit to Peyton Watson because he was slippery and he was really good. But also Paul George, like, come on, man. Like take some pride. Guard your yard, man. Like, guard the ball. He didn't do that. And I'll tell you, Devon, I was more frustrated with Paul George on offense tonight because, again, for most of the game, this was not an offensive loss. Yes, in overtime, absolutely an offensive loss. Defensive loss. The worst shots that the Sixers took all night were Paul George took 2 no-pass step-back threes that were not open early in the shot clock. That's just bad decision-making, man. That's just bad basketball. He needs to get better shots. He actually made a couple. He made one in the first half off a wide pin down from Joel where the guy went under the screen. Catch and shoot, like rhythm jumper. Good. That's the type of shot they need Paul George taking. But those shots were bad. He actually he tried to drive on, who was it, Watson in overtime?
And he got there, but it was the way he tried to take the shot.
He should have went up with the left, right? Because he had beat the guy or just tried to shoot it over the middle of the basket. He goes back and hangs back to his right hand and gets it blocked. Yeah, it was really bad Paul George game. And that's all I got. I was very frustrated with his inability not just to stay in front of Peyton Watson. I thought his offensive process for a lot of the game was bad. Yeah.
Let's go to another one as we stay with the cooling off.
Let's do it.
The minutes of Jared McCain, 18 minutes and 43 seconds, 1 for 4 from the floor, 1 for 3 from behind the three-point line, and 1 turnover for just 3 points tonight. And while he did have 4 assists, he did not look good.
He's unplayable.
He did not look like he belonged out there at all. When he was out there, and I was like, give the ball to Quentin Grimes and get the ball out of Jared McCain's hands because he just does not have it. He is in a bad place again. And at some point, like Rich just said, he's unplayable. You feel bad for him because he's coming back from that knee injury. It does take a while. Tim Legler told us that when we talked to him. It takes time. It takes time to have trust in your knee and the explosiveness, feeling good for what you know you have been doing for all your life as a basketball player to get all of that back, and you're asking him to do that. Yes, it's been a year since the injury occurred, but he's now back to playing basketball, not just against his teammates and some other pickup things and some individual workouts. He's going against other people with a whiteboard that's trying to slow you down as the opponent, and it's not working out for him right now at all. He cannot handle the ball to get them into their sets, and he even had on a catch-and-shoot opportunity where we've seen him. Look, it happens all the time. Ball fake, get the defender to fly by. Even on that play, he couldn't do right tonight, where he got a travel called on him, where he left his feet, did not put the ball down. Even if you leave your feet and dribble the basketball while you're up in the air, they'll at least maybe give you the benefit of the doubt. Turnover right there. And nothing is going right for him. And defensively, where we've given him a lot of credit for that, even though he is undersized, even that way, they're hunting him and looking for him in those spots too.
It doesn't, as hard as he tries on defense, he's going to be a negative on that side. He's just so small. And he was a negative tonight. Like Hunter Tyson found him a couple of times. Hunter Tyson, they stick him on their worst player, and he was like, I'm going to hunt the bozo. And the bozo is Jared McCain. Yeah, and look, man, he just has to be a huge offensive player. He has to make his open threes, shooting like 32% from beyond the arc. Whenever he goes inside, he had one of those layups where he just throws up this insanely difficult layup he's got no touch on those so far this year. It's a bummer. And I really was okay with Nick Nurse continuing to play him a little bit. Because if you remember, a lot of the fans were like, Nick Nurse, why is he not playing Jared McCain, when he was playing poorly? And I think people have come to realize that, like, he's not playing because he's not giving the team a lot. And look, I want Jared McCain to do well because I think he has a lot of talent. And the Sixers, whether they trade him or at least use him in a backup role in the rest of the year and the years to come, like you would like to get something out of that spot. But Devon, I don't know, man. Like when Kelly Oubre returns, is he getting rotation minutes? I don't think he's earned them.
I don't know. I don't know if he's getting those minutes, especially even with Trendon Watford, because we talk about Jared McCain being a ball handler. He's not showing that either. So what does Trendon Watford do? He gives you a bigger body that can handle the basketball. He may not shoot as well, but look, right now in the season, they're shooting about the same percentage, right around 32, 33% from behind the three-point line with Trendon Watford. So, yeah, this one is a tough one for him. It's almost like he just needs an escape again, where you just go and sit in the rain and look out the window and just kind of zone out a little bit. Nothing is working for him right now, and he needs to find that shooting touch back. And it may take a while. It may not come back until February. It may not come back until March. But he needs to find something because, yes, they do miss Oubre. And right now you can see where they lack the extra ball handling from Watford. Jared McCain just does not have it right now. And you can see it where he doesn't have the confidence out there on the floor. Last year, he's catching that thing in the corner, and he is giving that ball fake. No doubt about it, that guy's flying by. He's either waiting for him to fly by before he leaves him the feet and just simply sidesteps for the three, makes an extra pass, whatever it is. None of it is working right now for Jared McCain. None of it.
No. And look, guys, I know that I'm being a little irrational and I'm just trying to light everybody on fire, but I'm so disgusted.
We're talking
by this
about
game.
one game right now that just happened, plus the stretch that McCain is on. I don't think you're being irrational.
So it's funny. This guy Mike, his handle is MHC on Twitter.
Yes,
He's a good follow.
Absolutely.
He had a tweet that said, if the Sixers played the 2015-16 Sixers, as you remember, they won 10 games that season. He said it would be a 3-point game with 45 seconds left. If the Sixers played the 2015-16 Warriors, it would also be a 3-point game with 45 seconds left. And that is part of this team's story. We talk about clutch time games. Yeah. They're always going to play those. Guys, you can't play a clutch time game against this Denver team tonight. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I know that that's your MO. I know that that's what usually is going to happen. It's going to be close. You're going to execute down the stretch. You're not going to win some, lose some, whatever. You can't do that. You got to be able to step on an undermanned team's throat, and just didn't happen tonight.
Can't play down to the competition, no matter what that organization is. And yes, they are a well-run organization. Cannot do that. And it happened. All right, we're taking our next break here. That was our Ace Hardware temperature check. Make sure you check out Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. When we come back, the Unsung Hero, presented by Togo. Sixers fall 125-124. Unacceptable loss by this basketball team. Regroup, get back to Washington, and take it out on them at home on Wednesday. But before we get there, more venting about this one tonight, right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show.
The holiday season just ended, and we know how stressful that can be on your finances. Between travel, gifts, hosting, entertaining, you name it, it's easy to lose sight of your money. And if you want to keep your finances under control after this holiday season, you need to be using Monarch, rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. And Monarch, guys, it does all of the heavy lifting. It links all of your accounts in minutes and gets clear data, visuals, smart categorization on your spending, and organizing your finances. Named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, and the best app by Forbes for couples. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarch.com in your browser.
Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show, presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. I do think, did I get it? VJ 15, 3 boards, and Joel 20. So yeah, we got it right tonight, everybody. Back in the winning side of things, I was.
Somebody showed up tonight.
Sixers weren't. I showed up. Took VJ a long time, though, to show up because he was 0 for a while.
It was terrible in the
So he
first
hit
quarter.
that first 3, and then he did VJ stuff that he typically does there in the second half. He was going to be the unsung hero until he took that awful shot. Let's go unsung hero.
I think he's the unsung.
You want to do that?
Yeah, VJ Edgecombe. Because I want to talk about him.
All right, unsung hero presented by our good people from Togo. Togo, make sure you check them out again, where they get you set up just perfectly with everything as the outsourcing that they do. Togo, the leader in operations outsourcing. All right, you go VJ, and I'm going to go with a different one.
Okay, so VJ, I thought we talked about PG's bad decision making on offense in the first half. I thought VJ was the second biggest culprit of that. Joel also with his lazy volleyball stuff early on, but he did have a good first quarter. Joel with 11 points. Yeah, VJ was scoreless for a long time, guys, and he looked like during that stretch after the first 5 or 6 games, just
0 for 5 in the first half.
Some bad pull-up threes, forcing drives, just was not playing crisp basketball. But again, this is the VJ Edgecombe story, is that even on a night when he doesn't have it for a long stretch early on, he's on the court at the end of the game, and he should be on the court at the end of the game because he does a lot of good stuff on both ends of the court, man. I thought, man, he was the one guarding Jalen Pickett at the end, and I thought he did a very good job at the very end. I mean, he stole the ball from him on
Had
one
that
of those.
great block on, was it Bruce Brown going to the basket?
Bruce Brown.
Or Watson, one of the two.
And then how about the shot making from VJ? The one that I'm thinking of, Devon, is so Sixers get down 5 because Adem Bona, and that's a whole another story, in that they sit Paul George for a long stretch in the fourth quarter, and they go double big with Embiid and Bona, which is something that like clearly they like, but I don't know. It's pretty clunky, and Bona was, I don't know. I mean, he certainly wasn't helping things. Bona commits a terrible foul on a closeout where he basically karate kicks Bruce Brown trying to close out, jumping from the lane line to the 3-point line.
After playing an okay game.
Yeah, he did some good stuff in the first half for sure. I got off track there. But Sixers get down 5. They look dead in the water with about a minute left. VJ gets Spencer Jones, who's a very good defender, on a switch, walks him down and makes a pull-up 3 right in his face. Ends up shooting 5 for 11 from 3. Made some big shots down the stretch. Had that one in overtime that was way long at the end. I wonder if he was gassed. But man, just what a player. And that even on a game where he does not have his A-plus stuff out of the gate, down the stretch, he's the guy who you want taking shots. Now, maybe you don't want him running a no timeout ISO with 30 seconds left in the game. I'm going to put that one more on Nurse than on VJ. But man, just makes so many winning plays down the stretch. And even in the worst loss of the season, there was still a nice slice of play there where you can say, man, this rookie that the Sixers have, it just does a lot of really good stuff.
Second half, excluding overtime, 19 minutes, 15 seconds, 5 for 9 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal as well for VJ Edgecombe. And they needed those big threes. Those 2 that he hit within the span of 60 seconds, basically, to help them get back into the game. And Tyrese Maxey gets the breakaway layup to tie the score at 120. Edgecombe finishes with the 17, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 6 for 17 from the floor. He was really, really good. In overtime, unfortunately, just 1 for 3. And for those 2 points, had that block shot and the extra steal, 2 rebounds, but just got off to that really slow start where he was 0 for 5 from the floor. So for me, I'll give the unsung hero because we talked about it at the top, but man, I want to give these guys some credit. We got to go to the other side. 53 points combined between Jalen Pickett and Peyton Watson.
They were awesome. And I will
18 for 33 from the floor. From 3, and this is really all about Jalen Pickett from 3. 7 for 11 for him, 2 for 3 for Peyton Watson, but 9 for 21 between the 2 of those. I'm giving my unsung hero performance to the opposition in those 2 players in particular, Pickett and Watson, combining for the 53 points, staying in the game, playing over 40 minutes. Both of those players playing over 40 minutes on the night. Really good defensive possessions overall. Peyton Watson turned the ball over 6 times, 4 for Watson, and Pickett, and they still impacted the game the way that they did, persevered through it all. And I'm giving my unsung hero award to those two guys for what they did and keeping Denver in the game and ultimately winning it as well.
Devon, the 3-point shooting from Denver was like, look, they shoot 18 of 37. That includes some in overtime when they were gassed and them and the Sixers were just trading bricks. They were around 50% the entire game.
All game.
And look, we have spent 41 minutes so far lighting the Sixers on fire because their defensive effort was not good enough. They did not shoot 18 wide open 3-point shots. I would say like 7 or 8 of those were incredibly difficult shots. Maybe even like 10 of those, honestly. Denver had the game of their lives tonight.
Oh,
and
100%. Yeah.
Jalen Pickett, again, like just look at these guys' percentages, guys. They play with Nikola Jokic on the best offense in the league most of the time. Think about what they did tonight. I mean, these were not open shots, so you do have to give those guys credit.
Gotta give them credit.
Like, look, this could have been a game.
And we are basketball fans, okay? This is a Sixers show. We are basketball fans. We are pros. Professional win between us three here. We came to play. Those two guys, man, they don't win that game without those two really, really setting things up for them tonight.
They were insane. And let's add Zeke Naji. That's
oh, yeah. And he didn't even start. We were talking about him as a starter. He didn't even start.
He's been listed as, he got I think it was 4 for 32 contract, which is not that much in today's NBA. He's been listed as an untradeable contract for years.
Because he's done nothing.
Nothing. And some of the shots he made tonight, guys, I don't know. Like, look.
You make one, you make two.
If Denver doesn't make those shots tonight, we can say, hey, Sixers played super lazy, got away with it, won by 7 or 8. If the Denver does not have an A++ shooting game, but Sixers left it up to chance, and Denver said thank you very much and won the game. So, yes, those guys were great. And by the way, Peyton Watson, he was like legitimately hard to stay in front of. I mean, look, I think Paul George should have done a better job on him. But he was
difficult.
The spin moves he was making, like he was putting Quentin Grimes on his back. Quentin Grimes, pretty decent defender one-on-one sometimes. He really struggled with him as well. So they really had nothing for him, and Nick Nurse couldn't find the lineup to play those guys. So, yeah, it was those guys were great.
76ers TTP says, why would Najee start, Devon? Fair point. I mean, we just thought that with everybody out, no Valanciunas, no Jokic, Holmes would maybe come off the bench and you get Najee to get the start, and Joel Embiid would put him through the mix. Not the case. Came off the bench and lit them up. He went off the bench tonight, 3 for 4 from 3. No, 4 for 5 from 3.
I got to talk to Rob G, who said that 99% of the first 3 quarters are practice threes. Rob, you got to go back and watch some of those shots. The Jalen Pickett step backs on Joel Embiid, that is not a practice three-pointer. Zeke Naji catching the ball at his feet and shooting, that is not a practice three-pointer.
And Rob,
and by the way,
they made them.
I do agree that there were some easy threes, and particularly with some overhelp. But you do have to say some of that was crazy shot making from Denver. I'm going to say half bad defense from the Sixers, but half pretty crazy shot making from Denver. So look, it's a thing where multiple things can be true. I have focused for the first 45 minutes on the practice threes part because I think the Sixers just need to be better. Like, you need to be more professional than that. But you also do need to give credit to Denver. That was just crazy shot making. And, they should enjoy it because, with Jokic out, they're not going to get another game.
Rob, you're a basketball person. Sometimes when it happens like that, open or not, you got to make them. You shake their hand. All right. And they kept going. 7 for 11 from 3, 2 for 3, 2 for 4 for Bruce Brown, who's not a three-point shooter. Also, then you get Najee. Hunter Tyson, they talked about his three-point shooting percentage on the broadcast where he's way below.
Spencer Jones, transition threes.
Yeah, they got to the free throw line 28 times. And Peyton Watson, to your point, 8 for 10 tonight from the free throw line. He had the most free throw attempts of anybody on the floor between the two teams. So
anyway, it's both things are true. Both things are true.
It's allowed.
Denver, great shot making by them, especially down the stretch. but also lazy defense from the Sixers.
Fair. Shake their hand. It happens. Unsung Hero is presented by Togo, the leader in operations outsourcing. Let Togo handle the work that gets in the way of your work. You call the plays, we execute. When we come back, final segment as we hang out with you, talking about this tough loss to the Denver Nuggets without Jokic, Murray, and the rest of the gang, Gordon, Brown, and who was the other one? Johnson and Hardaway. All of them out. Sixers lose by 1 in overtime with their guys on the floor. We're breaking it all down. Final segment on the other side is the PHLY Sixers postgame show. It's almost playoff time. We're here. Do you really want, after some issues with Britton Covey, do you really want Jalen Hurts returning punts? Absolutely not. No, it's not worth the risk. And it's not the same. It's exactly the same when it comes to your money. You don't want to risk the time or the money to keep your stars focused on what they need to do. You need to make sure that they're out there and healthy. The same goes for your business right now as well. You don't want your top people buried in operations, the tedious, time-consuming, redundant activities that wear them down. Keep your impact players fresh so they can focus on putting points on the board. Each Togo program includes dedicated staff, custom automations, and US-based processes, engineers who act as your quarterback, giving you the complete control, total transparency, and instant efficiency to do what's right as you call the plays and they execute your way and advise along the journey. Visit harnesstogo.com, scale smarter, work faster, and stay focused on winning.
Philly sports fans, listen up. It's the season of gifting, and if you're looking for something truly unforgettable this year, I've got the perfect idea. You've got to check out the incredible work from Philadelphia sports artist Jordan Spector at SpectorSportsArt.com. Take a look at one of these babies. Nick Foles behind us. Trust me, these posters, they're not just ones that you hang on the wall. They are museum-level artworks of the greatest moments and icons in Philly sports. His collections come in prints, canvases, and even athlete-partnered trading cards. And get this, one of the newest cards actually includes a piece of Brandon Graham's real game-worn jersey from the matchup in New Orleans. Remember? The one against the Chiefs. Doesn't get more authentic than that. If you've got a diehard Philly sports fan in your life, or you just want to treat yourself, this is the kind of gift that you or they will talk about forever. So head on over to SpectorSportsArt.com. That's SpectorSportsArt.com and grab something epic for the Philly fan in your life.
Still pain even during the break right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. We got some super chats, so let's get to those. Then we'll also talk about some roster construction update on the two guys that we've already mentioned in Oubre and Watford as well, and talking about them. So first, let's go to Davon, a.k.a. Schoolboy Beats, saying Nick Nurse got outcoached by Tommy Pickles. Shaking my head. David Edelman, who's our preseason, I think it was Colin and I, our preseason pick for Coach of the Year. For the Denver Nuggets. Hats off to him because he did a heck of a job of having those players prepared.
Davon with the Tommy Pickles comparison for David Adelman.
I would go with the lead, the head of the Mad character, where it was the guy.
I'm sorry. From you.
I'm sorry. Man. Hit the like button, everybody.
Man, we're making fun of David Adelman after he completely.
He's my Coach of the Year pick.
After he completely outcoached Nick Nurse in that game.
He did outcoach. Hit the like button, everybody.
By the
way,
I
subscribe.
Don't disagree with those two comparisons. By the way, he kind of looks like that.
As we talk about like and subscribe, hit the like button. Make sure you read the newsletter every day from my guy here to my left on your right of the screen. The PHLY Sports Daily. Everything you need to know about all Philly sports. Playoff for the Birds. Mattingly with the Phillies.
Yeah.
And the Sixers, Flyers as well, right here with Rich Hoffman. Make sure you read the letter.
Give me a subscribe because I'm feeling bad about that loss, everybody.
It's free. It's back from the holiday. It's free. Come on. Read the best newsletter in the world. And the recap. Kyle and Derek couldn't join us because of the press conferences and the timing of it all post-game. So, yes, we will be back tomorrow for our only 3 p.m. show. Tomorrow here on the PHLY Sixers podcast for the week. Those guys will be here. But if you want to read the instant recap from Kyle Neubeck, allphly.com right now. Go check it out for all of you that are subscribed as diehard members. Let's keep it going. Davon also says, definitely needed Oubre today. Too bad he's getting traded for 2 second-round picks. and a chicken cheese from a Poppy store. Oh, P.S. Embiid.
Ball stinks.
Ball stinks.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly could have used Kelly Oubre, because the one thing Kelly Oubre does every single night is
getting Peyton Watson.
Is bringing it on the defensive end.
He's getting Peyton Watson.
He's going to bring it, and he's not going to let Peyton Watson go absolutely berserk.
Yeah. And Watson is good. Again, we talked about it off air before the game and before the show, where he might get some good money this summer because of what he has been able to do this
That was
season.
very interesting, the on-ball stuff he did in this game.
Yeah, so really impressive. And whether it's with the Nuggets or someone else, he's going to get paid. That being said, Davon, I don't think Kelly Oubre is going anywhere, because to your point, they miss him. And it's obvious when he's not out there in games like this. I think they keep him. I don't know if he's getting traded for 2 second-round picks and the chicken cheese, from the corner store and all that stuff. But thank you, Davon, for the great super chats. What do you think? Those two in particular, Watford and Oubre, number one, with what he's going to mean to them when he gets back. They've been good. Defensively, we've been talking about how good they have been, but you still need that extra one that just really takes it to another level, and Kelly Oubre does that. Yeah,
and with Embiid and PG back, the defense is taking a little bit of a step back. Offense is taking a little bit of a step forward in these past couple weeks. But you needed Kelly tonight. But let's be real, you shouldn't need Kelly Oubre in tonight's game. I'm very excited to see Kelly back. I think he'll just add another wing to this rotation, a playable wing. They don't have too many of those, but tonight you shouldn't need him. That's all.
So Kyle was checking in with him a little bit earlier in the day, where number one, those two that we talk about, Oubre and Watford, are participating in 3-on-3s right now, ramping it up. Get the money jar for us to ramp it up.
Put it in there.
And also, Nurse said pregame that both of those two are expected to be cleared to play any day now, according to
That's good.
head
That's
coach
exciting.
Nick Nurse.
I wish I could be more excited about it, but I'm still I'm going to be negative about the loss tonight. Hopefully, in a couple days, they beat the out of the Washington Wizards. But I'm going to be in my feels about this loss right now.
As you should. Final one from Marcus Blackstock. They lost to people who just got out.
Thank you, Marcus.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any day now for Kelly Oubre and Trendon Watford. Thanks, as always, for the super chats. We really do appreciate those. Also, with the window now opening up for 10-day contract players, Rich, the 15th roster spot, as we talk about. First of all, Marshawn Beauchamp. They picked that happened while you were out, and Hunter Salas out as a two-way guy. Yep. Marshawn Beauchamp in. 10-day contracts available now. What, number one, the Beauchamp move? Do you like that one? Just because you do have a wing that you can throw on the floor that has some NBA experience. Where Hunter Salas, he was at this point of his career was just unplayable for this basketball team when they needed minutes. How do you feel about that move as the third two-way guy?
I think it's fine. I think when I think of the two-way spots in those last few roster spots and the two-way spots, I'm more concerned about got to get Dominic Barlow on a real contract. Dominic Barlow was not very good tonight also, by the way, guys. Jabari Walker was... Huh?
3 games in a row he hasn't been good because he got into foul trouble in the other 2, and tonight he just couldn't stay on the floor.
Look, and it's fine.
I'm just saying that we praise him a lot. The Unsung Hero Award is named after him, but these last 3 games hasn't been his best.
Hasn't been very good, and the big issue with him is, and it didn't really affect them that much tonight because I thought their offense for the most part wasn't the problem, but his issue is, he shoots 1 of 4 on those corner threes tonight. That's got to become a more reliable shot. That said, sign him to an NBA contract. See if you can figure out that shot for him. Jabari Walker, also, I thought he had pretty good energy in tonight's game. He did have 1 possession where he got blown by, but he was good on the offensive glass tonight in his minutes as well.
He snatches those offensive rebounds.
I think he's arguably a guy that creating a roster spot for him as well is something I would consider, and you're certainly going to run out of two-way days pretty soon. So.
Yep. So right now, games played already. You have Walker at 31, Barlow at 23. Remember, Barlow missed all that time with the elbow injury after the first 2 games of the season, so he's a little bit behind. So he was not active, and you just have to be, as Derek as always tells us, you only have to be active for the games and dressed. You don't have to actually play in the games. They've missed a few games as well with the Sixers right now at how many games are they? 20 and 15. So they're at, 19 and 15 now on the season. So they're at game number 34. And Walker has not played in 3 of them, where Barlow has missed more time because of that injury once again. So they still have a little bit of runway, but it's now in the teens for Walker, where he only has a certain amount of games left. And that's why I bring up the 10-day contract thing. While we don't have names right now, just simply would you like to see them make use of that if Beauchamp is going to stick a lot with the Bluecoats and you just need an extra body to come up here and help out?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got, I thought that one funny thing of the night, Joel Embiid's no-look shot where he was driving from the perimeter, was not looking at the basket.
Did not look at the basket.
Floated it and made it. That made me laugh. And that is
WTF moment of the night.
And outside of VJ Edgecombe down the stretch, those are the 2 things that I enjoyed from tonight's Sixers-Nuggets game.
On that play that you talked about where Embiid found George in the short right there under the basket for that dump off, and he hit VJ Edgecombe with great cut for that dunk.
Yeah.
Great play. Great play.
You could see that's what they wanted. They were getting Joel doubled every single time on the post. They wanted to bring PG basically only just a couple feet away from him. You would think that's not great spacing, but you did see why it would work on that VJ cut, because that was perfect, right? Throws it to PG, tic-tac-toe to VJ. Maybe you got to change the angle up. Maybe you bring PG above Joel 5 feet away, because the next 2 times the Nuggets did sniff that play out. Yeah, just not good enough. Not good enough from Nurse, because I didn't think it was creative enough. Joel also got to do better. He's got to, if you're the guy that's getting the ball and you're getting doubled, again, I understand that you're tired, but you got to take better care of the ball.
Yep, absolutely. All right. After all that, everybody, all the venting, all the frustration, it's time for us to get to the world famous. It's time for the
Let's get to the roll call.
It's time for the roll call on this late night. How dare the NBA schedule an East Coast game like this at 8:30? It's time for the roll call. No roll call for the NBA because they scheduled this game late like they did. All right, let's get to it. We got to start off with the X-Man.
What up, X?
What up, X? They took that X tonight. Not good, but what up, X? We appreciate it. Grump is in the chat talking about Bob Myers checking in just because he's now on the sideline quite a bit.
So is 76ers TTP.
Well, Bob Myers love.
Did you see the one shot of Bob Myers with, because they had Hummel and Austin Rivers both sitting in the courtside seats? Interesting.
I missed Myers. I saw Edelman, but I didn't see Myers.
Well, it was funny. Robbie Hummel was sitting right next to Bob Myers calling the game. Bob looked a little tired. Get some sleep, Bob. He was sitting next to Josh Harris. Bob, get some sleep, man.
He's handling stuff in Washington as they're packing up the locker room for the football team. He's a little busy. Didn't get enough rest. Shout out to Bob Myers sitting courtside once again. 76ers TTP, what up? Kyle Wright in the chat. We thank you as always. Really appreciate it. Let me see. We had Terry Hayden jumping in on the chat. Don't remember Terry, but that's good to see. Terry, welcome in. We appreciate it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Lost Sleep TV. MC. Good to see MC in there. Make that music. Jack Reacher. Need that movie. We're ready for that movie. We can act. RC Campbell. Thank you, as always. Philly Star checking out, saying hit the like button, everybody. We really appreciate that. Hit that like button. Who else did we have in there? I see my mom in there. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Alden Network 215. What up, Alden? We see you. Mr. Midrange 39. They needed some mid-range buckets tonight to close out that game, and they could not figure it out. They needed you, Mr. Midrange. We had Kyron in the chat. And we also had a few more that I did have written down. Our buddy Tom Jackson.
Hello, Tom.
Yes. What up, Tommy? Good to see you. We said Grump already. And we had so many others, including Davon, a.k.a. Schoolboy Beats in the Super Chat, and Marcus Blackstock as well. For those of you who we miss, we always shout out the ladies. Hedford, Jess, Winona, Val. Hey, ladies, always good to catch up with you. We thank you for hanging with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast for our only 3 p.m. show of the week. Back with Rich on Wednesday for the Sixers and Wizards. Bree, great job as always. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We're all back together now that the new year is here, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. with Kyle, with Derek, with Bree, Rich on Wednesday. For all of them.
Tomorrow's a new day, everybody.
You still be angry because we know you. That's right. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you then. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.